Welcome everybody. This is our webinar series, and today we have our special guest, Dr. India White. Dr. India White was actually sharing more information about what she's doing currently. And India White, besides of being an international motivational speaker, she also she finished a doctorate degree in education and leadership. She's also the recipient for the 100 Successful Women in Business 2020, and she's part of the Successful Women Network. So welcome, India. How are you?
Hey, Maria. Thanks for having me. Hey, everybody. I'm so grateful to be among you guys today. Thank you, Al Otero. Thank you, Maria, for this wonderful opportunity to just share some nuggets with everyone as to how it is now time for them to come out and to be great. And so if you guys just join me today, I just want to share my heart and share some wisdom with you and see how we can maybe even just kind of tag alongside each other and make some great things happen in this season. I know with coronavirus and some of the madness in the media, we've got a lot of distractions at this time, but I want to take that same energy and harness it in a way where we can be productive and successful together. And so I want to talk to you guys today about how it is time for you to come out. So the first thing I want to do
we want to thank you for being part of the network.
Yes.
We know you for some time. You were one of our key speakers in Tampa, and you just lit up the room. So we're so happy to know you, to have you in our team, and to help all of our viewers be better and get excited, because you are a great motivator and inspirer. So now I turn it over to you.
Yeah, because now it's time to come out.
Come out. And now
That's
we can say doctor, because you just got your PhD. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So yes. What are the things for you this year?
Thank you. It's been, you know, it's all about perspective and how we look at our everyday opportunities. And so I just want to say, guys, you know, it's been great working with y'all, and, you know, I don't plan on going anywhere. It's been wonderful. And thank you. It's been a lot of hard work, but it's paid off. And so now it's time for us to celebrate and to move forward. And so
before we start the presentation, I also know that you just launched your radio show.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
yes, I'm super excited about it. And my radio show, The Real Talk Show with Dr. India White, is a show where people can come on the radio and be real while serving others. And I want it to be open to anyone that feels like they have a burden or a passion or a mission to help other people, and they need an audience, they need a voice, they need a platform to let people know and to make that awareness happen so that they can go to the next level in their business or in their ministries and their areas of service. And so I'm here every Thursday, 8 o'clock, and I've just launched a Real Talk Show, and I'm looking forward to having people join. If they want to be a part of the show, Maria and Al, what they can do is they can send me an email at india.white.123@gmail.com and send their bio and a photo and request to be on the show. We've got a great lineup of leaders happening, and so right now we're looking at open slots in September. So they need to hurry up and get on, because slots are filling up, and it's a really great and exciting time.
Amazing. So congratulations again, India, and the show is all yours now.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Okay, so I'm so excited about this topic because I feel like so many of us, we are holding on to nuggets of wisdom, nuggets of talent, and we just need to know that it's okay to come out of our shells. Too many entrepreneurs I found in this day are holding on to various weights in their life. Furthermore, it's led to them just feeling like they're not as successful as they need to be. So even statistics, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, it says that there's about 20% of small business owners that fail in their business within the first year. Again, that's 20%. And then they said after about 5 years, that goes to 50%. So there's definitely a problem there. And of course, after 10 years, it drops to 35%. But the problem is that entrepreneurs are not being successful as they like to be. And so we need to talk about the issues here so that we can come up with a solution so that every entrepreneur can start their work and come out of their hiding shell and continue to thrive. So it's time to overcome and thrive as an entrepreneur. Now, there are 3 areas as an entrepreneur that people will feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I don't know if I can overcome fear, or they might have areas in their finances. In addition to that, they might have areas when it comes down to their families and their friends that they're just not sure of. And so with that, I want to talk now to you guys about the first hindrance that every entrepreneur faces, and that is fear. Fear is simply defined in Webster's dictionary as basically something that's going to cause you to be scared. It almost has a paralyzing effect. For this webinar's sake, I'm going to define fear as false evidence appearing real. Feel free to chime in. Feel free to comment as we're going through as well. If you'd like to, share out a comment or you have a question, I'm here for you guys during this webinar. So we're going to keep it real together, and we're going to find out how we can be great entrepreneurs together. So fear, again, is false evidence appearing real. So the first thing entrepreneurs will probably say is, India, how do I start? I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know how to even start a business. Or you might have that thought that says, what if I fail? What if I fail in business? What do I do? What if my business has business troubles? What if there's a lawsuit or, something goes bad? What if my ideas are rejected? What if, nobody wants what I have to serve or what I have to offer? Or even, what if somebody steals my content? What do I do then? So here's some ideas that we can combat together, guys. We have to study previously successful business owners and find out what nuggets and what ideas they are using to launch their business and to be successful. You might even want to ask for help. There's absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help. If you like what you're hearing, go ahead and like and share. Go ahead and comment out, because we're going to now go right into the second hindrance that entrepreneurs face, and that is hindrances dealing with their finances. So there are some questions that business leaders face. Okay, there are 3 main questions. The first question is, what if I go bankrupt, right? What if I go bankrupt? Nobody has time for that. Nobody wants that, right? You put all of your time and your sweat and your effort and your tears and your love and your passion into your dream project or products, right? Just to go bankrupt? Especially in times like today, I know we're all kind of sensitive and on edge with coronavirus, but we have seen that even in Florida alone, we've had at least 20 businesses that have closed. Even in the Tampa Bay area, there have been businesses, wonderful mom and pop shops, people that have given their heart and soul into a wonderful product that is closed because of this unforeseen pandemic. Okay, so this is a real topic here of bankruptcy and also fraud. What if I encounter fraud? With social media nowadays, guys, people have profile pictures popping up that aren't them. You've got, fake accounts going on. There's so many different things that are happening. So fraud is definitely a real concern for entrepreneurs. And then you have, what about the IRS? What if I mess up on my taxes? What if I come up short? How do I balance all that? What if I didn't donate enough throughout the year? What do I do, right? So how can we relieve together, guys? How can we relieve fear of financial failures? Well, the first thing I want to tell you is make sure you have solid records of your business and that you remain within your budget. Now, listen, there is a humbleness that comes with running a business. We can't always have it all when we want it all, right? We have to learn to budget and stay within, our financial assets and in our, our accounts, because if we don't, then we can run into red tape and then we're really in trouble. So the first things first is, if you're expecting to serve 500 in your community, you don't want to order 800 of something and then you come up short and then you have all of this extra product and then you have no one to give it to and now you're stuck, right? Like, you want to make sure that you know, stay within your budget, within your means. Plan for what you know you have to serve. Plan for what you know you have to produce. Okay, another thing is have options and plans for backup for your business. Don't always have every egg in one basket. When it comes down to your financial transactions, ways to receive payment, ways to bank and do financial business, your contracts, definitely make sure that you have more than one egg in one basket, meaning that all of your business is not going all to just one, place of or one resource, or going out to just one area of focus. Now, the third hindrance that we're going to talk about today, guys, is dealing with your family and your friends. Now, there's a verse or a scripture or a saying, and it says something like a prophet is not accepted in their own country. Now, why do I bring this up? Because sometimes when you're dealing with family and friends, you are so familiar that sometimes some of the same loved ones that love you so much, they will not support what you do in your business until maybe years down the road, or they might not support at all because they feel like, oh, you're just common. We know you as this person, or we know you as, this. You're not this entrepreneur. You're my sister, or you're not this entrepreneur. You're my brother. So they can't quite accept you. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean that they don't support. It just doesn't make sense that they're going to go to your store and buy something. Does that make sense? Because they've never had to do that with you before. So they can't quite accept you in that lens, and that's okay. So note this. Familiarity won't always see your specialties. I'm going to say that again. Familiarity won't always see your specialties. So sometimes family and friends, they just won't see it. They just won't see the business leader in you. And, sometimes there's that doubt and that unbelief, but what you have to do? You have to move forward anyway. This reminds me of a time that I was playing the saxophone as a middle schooler. Now, I don't know if you guys are musically inclined at all, but I was playing the saxophone and it was a lot of fun, but I wasn't really that good, but I did have a heart for it. And so I remember I went before a loved one and I said, hey, I am playing the saxophone. And they're like, oh, you are? Well, let me hear you. So I took out my saxophone and I began to play. And lo and behold, they stopped me. They laughed. They laughed in my face. And they're like, you're not good. Just stop. And it crushed me, y'all. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, they totally just took the wind out of my sail. And I just was like, I might as well hang this up, because I'm just not good, whatever. And long story short, I was down a little bit, but I bounced back. I started hanging out with friends that were playing instruments. I started getting music lessons, a little bit of music lessons, like my senior year of high school. So that middle school experience then grew into me becoming, I was the first alto saxophone. So I guess I was okay, right? If you're leading the high school band. So I was first alto. And then afterwards I received a scholarship, for college at University of Florida. And I actually was accepted into the University of Florida Pride of the Sunshine Marching Band, where I played that same saxophone. So why do I bring this story up? Because sometimes you have to move forward. Even though people can't see your potential, you still have to move forward and you still have to make it happen, because eventually people will catch on. People will receive what you have to offer. Does that make sense? So, that's my saxophone story for you guys. And a little bit like that, that's how business can be at times, is you got to be okay with the rejection that you receive at first. Because that at the end of the day, that one-time rejection is not everyone rejecting you. It's just that particular person or those particular people that you were involved with in that season. They might have rejected you, but that does not mean that you don't have something to offer to the world. So continue to move forward. Now, I'm going to go back to, fear. We have to choose to believe that everything will work out. Now, when you're dealing with fear, that's the first thing you have to do. You have to choose to believe that everything will work out no matter what you see, in your business transactions, no matter what you hear, no matter what's going on in the media, you have to choose to believe that everything will work out for your good. Another thing you do when you're dealing with fear is you have to plan for success, okay? Planning for success is key, because it's almost like you have to count the vision and make it plain. You don't want to just say, oh, I want to start a business, and you don't have anything, aligned. You don't have anything written down. So a lot of people in these days are starting to do these like vision boards, and they have like these vision board events, and they meet together and they put it down on paper. And no, listen, one thing I want to encourage you guys with this too. When you're planning for success, listen to me. This is not about your neighbor and competing with your neighbor. When you're first trying to start your business, it is about you. It is about that foundational piece that you have to make sure is solid so that you can succeed as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, which is, someone that owns multiple businesses. When I began my businesses, Rise and Glory Productions and Tutoring Incentives and Mentoring Program, I was not looking necessarily at what other mentoring programs were doing. I was not looking at what other motivational speakers were doing. I was looking at what India had to do. I was looking at what I could handle. And that's another thing, is when you're planning for success, you have to know how to leverage your own business. You have to know what you can handle versus what your neighbor can handle. Your neighbor might be able to handle 500 clients at a time because they have a phenomenal team, whereas you might only be able to handle 5 clients. But guess what? As long as you're successful, that's okay. So make sure that when you're planning for success, that you're realistic with your situation and that you're not necessarily trying to compete. Because I can tell you right now, that competitive spirit, it's good, but it's also bad. And I say this it's like a fine line. There's nothing wrong with being competitive to the sense that you want to get your brand out there, get your name out there, you get your logo going, you get your advertisements going, you get your marketing team going. Nothing wrong with that. But when it comes down to, you have to compete because you want to be number one, and no matter what happens, you have to be number one. And then you start to make moves that might try to jeopardize somebody else's business, or you try to do, something that kind of is a negative move. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily good. Okay. There's enough pie, enough pieces of the pie at the table for everyone. And when you remember that, you won't have to compete. You won't have to feel insecure or feel like, oh, that person might jeopardize what I have going on, or that person might take all of my clientele. And one thing I could tell you is this. When you have great business and you offer a great product, you don't have to worry about your neighbor, because people will continue to come back to you because they like you and they like your services. So if you can remember that, that will give you a sense of peace and take away that anxiety that you might have inside about, oh, I have to feel like I have to overcompete or overdo this. Just be you. And make sure that you document, make sure that you're consistent, and that you can offer what you say that you have to offer to your customers and your clients. Another thing that we want to do, guys, as we're overcoming fear and we are launching our businesses and we're coming out as entrepreneurs, is we want to speak life and then execute. So one thing I love to do is I like to have positive affirmations where I'm able to say, I am a motivational speaker. I'll be standing in front of hundreds of thousands. I'll be making, hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever. Like, I like to positively speak and then execute. So it's not enough just to say something great and then not have anything to back it up, right? So just like I try to do that as a motivational speaker, like if I'm an entrepreneur just starting out, I'm going to say, I'm going to have my business launch and I'm going to have however many customers you want, 100 customers by 6 months. I don't know, like do your own projections, as to what you can handle. And then execute. So start finding a plan as to how can I get those 100 clients, right? Do I have a calendar set? Do I have meetings set? Do I have an email database, which is very important? Do I have that established? Do I have a marketing team? Do I have someone that can help me in the area of sales? These are things that you want to start gathering together and putting those things together so that you can succeed at what it is that you are speaking life to. There's a verse that says, like, death and life is in the power of the tongue. So it's important that you speak life to what you want. If you want something like grandiose, something so big and awesome, begin to speak that. begin to believe it too, and it will manifest. But don't disappoint yourself in lack of execution or in lack of planning. So that is very imperative, okay? And that kind of goes with what you need in this hour as well. Now, we're going to now talk about how to break free of hindrances. How to break free of hindrances. Okay, so this is our second area of focus for this webinar. So the first thing you want to do when breaking free of hindrances is you have to take your power back. Again, take your power back. You have to choose to mentally walk away from any fear and excuses. You've got to choose to conquer your dreams one step at a time and find your tribe. This is so important. When you realize that you don't stand alone and that your tribe is what really kind of makes it all come together with you, anything is possible for you. That is when the sky becomes the limit. You've got to find your tribe. Who are your mentors? Who are other business leaders that you're working with? Other educators. Do not stop until you find your tribe, and then do not stop, guys, until you've accomplished your goals. It is so important. Listen, it is so important that you find your tribe. And usually you can vibe them out. I love saying that. Vibe them out. You can vibe them out. If you want to comment, if you're live on Facebook and you vibe them out. Vibe them out, because it is so important. Not everyone is called to your business. Not everyone is called to your areas of service. So it is imperative that you find the right people that are a part of your tribe, where you guys can grow together. You can launch together. You can support each other's businesses and what you guys have going on. You can do transactions together. It's so important that you find your tribe. Now, that leads me to the third point, and that's how do you soar and evolve into your purpose as an entrepreneur? How do you soar and evolve into your purpose as an entrepreneur? First things first, write the vision and make it plain. You've got to prepare. This is like everything. If you do not have a solid blueprint and you don't have those numbers on the paper and you don't have accountants and things going, it's time to consider doing that. It's time to really make it plain. There's nothing wrong. Listen, some people say, why reinvent the wheel? And I agree. I agree on that, especially if you're trying to start your business. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel sometimes. Somebody has already done what you've wanted to do, and they might have even done it in a greater scale than what you wanted to do. So go and visit and figure out, what is it that they're doing? What is it that I can take from their ideas, especially if it's public and it's on social media, if it's on the internet. You know, everything's on the internet. Google's our friend, right? Google's our best friend. So go to Google and figure it out, you know, and just write the vision. Get some people, you know, in your ear that could, you know, counsel you through it as well. Someone that could support you so that you don't feel like you're taking this on by yourself. Because remember, you're not alone. You do have a support group. You just got to find out who they are, find out who your tribe is, and write the vision and make it plain. Now, after you do that, you've got to make sure and confirm that your business foundation is secure. Then make sure you back up your business with consistency. Running a business is like taking care of an infant. You've got to nurture it every day. It's like watering plants. You've got to take care of them every day, every other day. You cannot let it just sit and go stagnant. You've got to remain relevant. That is one word that, if you could take a word out of this webinar, relevancy. You got to remain relevant with the times that you're in and with the services that people need, because consistency is key. People want to know that you are always there, that you are always reliable, okay? Because anything that they see, any kind of wavering that they see, it could really discredit you as a business owner. And it's imperative that you do everything that you can to support your brand. Because at the end of the day, somebody should be able to say, oh, I know, you know, this particular business, they do A, B, C. There should be 3 things that people should be able to say about you and your business off the top of their head. And so why would they say that? It's because of the consistency. It's the consistent message that they've constantly seen, whether it's through your social media or through transactions that they've done with you. in business. So it's important to remember consistency. Okay. Also, celebrate small steps. Okay. When you're doing your business and you get your first client, that's awesome. That's something to celebrate. Okay. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Do not condemn yourself or, be so hard on yourself because you're not getting your 1,000th client and you only have 20 clients. Celebrate the 20 that you do. Okay. And continue to repeat what has helped you to be successful. Continue to repeat those steps so that you can continue chasing success. Now, the next thing is put yourself out there. It is time for you to come out from hiding and to be seen. Okay, no more twiddling of your thumbs, no more hiding behind excuses. Okay, the worst thing you want to do is to be a phenomenal rock star with a phenomenal product and you're the best kept secret. And nobody can locate you, nobody can find you, nobody knows you because you're not out there. They don't know you. It's time to be done with that. It's time for you to launch yourself out there. No more fear, no more worrying about what your neighbor thinks or I don't know if it's gonna go right or I don't know if I can hang in there. And I don't know if I have the stamina, the resilience to run a business and to go at it again and to go at it again. And that's another thing is, as an entrepreneur, you can't be lazy. Like you've got to have that grit about you where you go and go and go and you move forward no matter what the season. You have to be instant in and out of season and make it happen. But this is your time to come out. Okay, listen, the more you hide, the more you can lose out on partnerships, the more you can lose out on business opportunities, and the more somebody else is going to get booked with what you should have had. So it's imperative that you come out from hiding, okay, so that you can be relevant and that you can stay on top of your business and your opportunities. And remember, there is strength in numbers. That's another reason why you have to soar and come out from hiding, because there is strength in numbers. Somebody needs your business and somebody is waiting to link up with you. So give them that opportunity, okay? And then after you come out from hiding, you got to plan for your explosion moment. Every single one of us will have an explosion moment eventually in our business. Okay, and you got to understand the explosion moment is where your business will catapult you to the next level. Your wealth will go to the next level. Your opportunities, your business partners, everything goes to that next level. And you've got to plan for that explosion level, because how can you be blessed? I think God will bless you with the wonderful opportunity of wealth and business, but you've got to plan. If you're not ready to receive 1,000 clients, but you have this wonderful service, then you're not ready. Right? You're not ready for that wealth. So you don't want to be disappointed. Like that's like when, I've got to bring this example up. Do you guys remember when Popeyes came out with a chicken sandwich? Popeyes came out with a chicken sandwich and they were not ready. They had to close down serving chicken sandwiches because too many people wanted them and they only had enough for maybe a couple thousands of people, and millions, like multi-millions, wanted their sandwich. So they had to totally close out and come up with a plan B because they totally lost out on the opportunity. But then of course they bounced back and now they're serving their chicken sandwiches. But we don't want to pull a Popeyes in that business plan. We've got to always plan for more. And we've always got to expect, what does happen. If I had an explosive moment, would I be able to handle all that business? So, and then after you do that, you've got to go and do it again, okay? After you found your formula of success, go and do it again. Plan for it, find your team, make sure everything's locked up, do it again, and do it again, okay? And continue to taste of success. So I hope you guys liked what you heard today. And I hope it was able to resonate with you as you figure out how you can come out from hiding as an entrepreneur and take your business to the next level. Overcome fear, overcome hindrances, overcome anything that might come from family or friends that would stop you or deter you from being great. Stop asking for excuses to be great and go on and be great. So I'd love to connect with you guys now moving forward as an entrepreneur. There's a couple of ways that we connect. If you like what you hear and you'd like to connect with me, I've got a wonderful coaching one-on-one section that I can do with you as an entrepreneur for $97. Feel free, if you want that, you can comment or you can email me at india.white.123@gmail.com. I also have different things that I've done as well as an author, my autobiography. It's called Double for My Trouble. If you want to read it, here it is. Okay, this is my autobiography, Double for My Trouble. It's available for you, $20. If you like that, you can feel free to comment in the links below or also email me, and I can also get that to you as well. I also have some book collaboration projects that are coming up. If you're interested in that, just give me a holler on that as well. And I'm looking forward to working with you guys. And thank you so much again for allowing me to share, but it is time for you to come out. And I would love to take any questions or
Wow,
any
what amazing
feedback.
presentation. Just
Great job.
congratulations. It
Thank
was
you.
extremely inspiring and motivational. And sometimes when you hear, oh, this is a motivational speaker, and then you start listening the presentation, it's like a boring presentation. But to be honest with you, your presentation was phenomenal. I was very excited about how you inspire, step by step, because people need to feel motivated to do something, and there has to be people like you that can encourage entrepreneurs to keep going. And one of the things that you said, which I believe is extremely important, don't give up. Consistency, consistency, consistency. And that is true. I'll always, when he does the training to us, he always mentioned about being consistent with what we do, with the services that we provide. And I believe that is a good philosophy, because if you are consistent, people eventually is going to start understanding more about you, and they're gonna see that you know what you're saying. They know what you're doing, and that is very important, right?
Yes, and one of the things that we've been practicing for years is meeting the client's expectations and exceeding them. It is no longer enough to meet their expectations because everybody can do that. So we need to exceed the client's expectations, and you have lived and are doing everything that you're telling people. You're not just doing it from a book, but you actually have gone through all the steps and continue to do that. The other thing that I got from your presentation is people love to do business with people they trust and like. Like you said, nothing to do with your neighbor, nothing to do with the business guy down the street. You have to earn the person's trust. They have to like you. So unless you overcome those things, you're not going to succeed. So you're right on the spot with those nuggets.
At this point, we're
Valuable.
going to be taking some questions in our both channels in Zoom. For everybody that joined Zoom, they can go ahead and ask the question through the chat. If you don't know what is the chat, it's on the right side of your screen or also at the bottom. So go ahead and feel free to ask your question with our expert today, and also some of our guests, we're asking for your contact information. If you can provide your email and telephone number so they, after the presentation, can contact you. And I have a couple of questions. One of the questions that we have from our viewers is about goals. You mentioned about being clear on your goals. What would you recommend to our entrepreneurs in terms of goals, how they should set a goal?
That's a great question, Maria. Thank you to the leader that asked that question. Now, when it comes down to setting a goal, you've got to be honest and realistic and have a wise timeline as to when you want to accomplish your goals. For example, if you want to have a business and you want to open a franchise, of what you're doing, it is not wise to say, I don't even have one thing, on the calendar yet, but I want a franchise within 2 months. No, it is not wise. You have to know, if I want to eventually open a franchise, for Chick-fil-A or whatever, okay, do I have the money in the bank? How long does it take to get a loan for that? How long would it take to get that many people, right, on board with me? Is it going to take me 2 years, 5 years? So, and then what do I need to do in between then? Do I need to, take some business classes? What type of loans do I need to get? What type of building projects do I need to have, do I need to foresee? So that's called being wise with setting goals. Even if you want to do something like, you want to just do a coaching business, and you want to have 30 clients by 6 months. Okay, do you have an email funnel? Do you have an email database? Or what are you doing on social media? Is it going to take you 6 months to get your message, to where people can believe it and see what's going on? Is it going to take you having an event or 2 events to get your program out there so people know that you're a coach? Do you have a coaching certification? Are you licensed to be a coach? So these are things that you would like to, plan and leverage out. So when it comes down to goal setting, the one thing you want to do is research. What is it saying online? What successful people, not people that thought they were a coach and they weren't, not people that thought they were going to get a franchise and it didn't work. No, people that you can go to their website and here it is. It scrolls down. You see the evidence. You got the data. You got the numbers crunched. What did they do? How long did they plan for? So you might have to even dig a little bit. Go to their website, dig. See their social media, dig. Look for the time frame. I know some people it could take you as short as 6 months if you have a great team. How many people do you need on your team? Right? Do you need 4 people? Do you need a social media person? Do you need an email person? Do you need a person in sales? Do you need a person for your technology, like and all your videos and things? So it depends on what you want. I hope that
To
helps.
summarize those 2 things that I think, come up with. First of all, realistic goals. I think it's number 1. And the second is attainable goals.
Yes.
Because a lot of businesses, let's say multi-level marketing companies, you have meetings, presentations, and they tell you you're going to make $1 million. So people get all excited and 99% burn out because the initial projection and presentation was not attainable. So people have to realize that they have to have attainable and realistic goals. I think that's
Absolutely. We have another question, and it's about how you can be unique, because you mentioned something about being yourself and not necessarily having competitors in the market. So how you can be unique, especially in these times of a global crisis?
a good question.
That's a beautiful question, and I'm so glad they asked that question. Thank you to whoever asked that question. It is so tempting, Maria and Al and audience, to get caught up in trying to be like that person over there, that person over there. It is, I'm telling you, but I think that kind of stems out of an insecurity that we're not good enough, right? Or that somebody's brand is better. But the power in being unique is to just be you. Be you. Stop trying to be more than what you are. Be humble. Be genuine. And be able to produce what you say you have. And when you have that, that's when people will call you and do business with you, because they know you're not a fake, and they know you're not putting on a front to try to be like so-and-so that you saw their website and you're, I've got to emulate that, because it won't stand in itself. When you're unique, that's when they will come for you. As a motivational speaker, I say this so humbly. I tell my story different every time. I don't need to use a script. I went from a homeless shelter to a college dorm overnight. I was kicked out of the house on Christmas Eve. I didn't know where I was going to go. The street lights were on. The cops were in my face. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a 4.1 GPA, and I didn't know what to do, y'all. I didn't have a house. I tell that story, and now I went from homelessness to Dr. India White by the grace of God. That's helping to raise multi-millions of dollars in scholarships for lower income kids. Why? It's because I'm India. It's not because I've done anything, I didn't get that off of somebody's website. And so when we're trying to be unique, it is important that we find our why. There's a book called Start With Why.
Dr. India, tell us more about the scholarship you just mentioned.
That's phenomenal.
Yes. So the scholarship, I'm so grateful for Take Stock in Children Scholarship. This is a low-income nonprofit, or it's a nonprofit organization that serves low-income students and helps give them a full ride scholarship to college, so that if they can stay out of crime, get a GPA of a 3.5 or 3.0 or higher, and they meet weekly with their mentor, they have people in the organization that give them a full ride scholarship that helps them get their college degree no matter what. They just have to just sign a contract and keep those three things. Meet with your mentor once a week, stay drug and crime free, and keep a GPA of a 3.0. That is what we need today. Is we need scholarships like that, and we need leaders in society to help students like that, to mentor them so that we can keep those kids off the streets, so there won't be all these different things that we're seeing in this civil unrest in our society today. Some of those same people that are breaking down buildings and breaking into Walmarts should be in college somewhere. But
This
they
is the
just
perfect
jumping
time,
out.
India. The timing is perfect. This
Yeah.
is when we need it the most. And I'm sure a lot of these children don't have the two parents.
They don't. They
That's
don't.
good.
They
Yeah,
have
well, I mean, it's
homelessness.
amazing all the programs that they're outside, they're in the market, but nobody knows about them. So just the fact that you're mentioning this type of scholarship is amazing. I would appreciate if you could share with us through the chat
Yes.
after the presentation. So everybody that wants to understand more about the type of scholarship, how, the requirements and get more
Yes.
information, definitely Dr.
That's
India
great.
White can help you with that. But remember that also she's a motivational speaker. Definitely, she's very motivational because I
She's
was
the best.
encouraged. Yeah, you're
Awesome.
the best. Remember in Tampa
Awesome.
when she did the presentation at the Tampa convention?
People couldn't sit down.
I
But
was
it's
so
you.
inspired, and
Yes.
unfortunately, I had to also, coordinate the event. But I heard a few parts of your presentation, and that was just amazing.
And the thing is, right now, the people are so down from everything. You're India. And like you said, nobody like India. So you're being yourself. And that's what makes you so special, because you're not copying somebody else. You are India and you're special.
Dr. India White, thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
today, for
Yes.
teaching us these important elements to succeed in your business. Remember, everybody, it's time to come out. And if you want to get more information and contact Dr. India White, you can do it. We're going to put all the information on the chat and
Yes.
also the telephone, email, everything, right?
Or they can call the chamber, because she's a part of our family.
That's right.
And we're going to be with her for a long time. We're so happy to be with you, India.
Thank you. Thank you again, Al. Thank you, Maria. You guys are the best. Mwah.
You too.
And I just wish
Appreciate
all
you.
you
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.